Hi everybody, today we'll start a new series that will show some ways to improve the tech trees of each nations. Before we start, I would like to remember you about the giveaway that I'm holding for one Arete Certezza at 500 subscribers and one MiG-29 Sniper at 700 subscribers. In order to enter it, subscribe, and once you reach those milestones, one lucky person will receive the vehicles. Today we start with the Italian tech tree, seeing the lineups from 1.0 to 1.7 and how to improve each one. The aim is to create lineups that contains 5 vehicles, 2 tanks that can be either light, medium or heavy, 1 fast vehicle, 1 anti-air and 1 tank destroyer. So let's take a look at the 1.0 lineup for Italy. I chose as the 2 tanks the AB41 and the L640 because the M1139 is an absolute travesty. As fast vehicle I picked the Xaba, and at this BR there is no SPAA, and the only tank destroyer is the L3 33cc that is more a meme vehicle than an actual tank destroyer. So let's start by finding a suitable SPAA for this role. I selected the OM36 truck with a Fiat 1435 machine gun on the back, a classic low BR milk truck that would sit at 1.0 with a similar playstyle as the Gaz AAA Dish-K in terms of mobility and firepower, however with the same penetration as the Gaz AAA 4M. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be as good as the 4M against aircraft, since that its fire rate of 600 rounds per minute, and at the same time it wouldn't be as good as the Dish-K against tanks, since it has a 12mm penetration on the AP rounds at 100 meters. After that, let's find a 1.0 tank destroyer. What I found is this, the L3 4732, a modified L3 hull to house a 4732 cannon on an open compartment. Mobility-wise it would be a little worse than the L3 33cc, but with the same gun as the M1340 medium tank. This vehicle has a similar gun aiming angle as the L40, 15 degrees to each side. It is a whole 1.0 BR lower compared to the AS4247 because it has less than half of the top speed, less acceleration and a lot less gun aiming angle. It is also 0.3 BR lower compared to the L40 because it has its crew compartment exposed, so it can be machine gunned to death. Like this, the 1.0 lineup will go from 3 competent vehicles to 3 competent vehicles, a support SPAA and 1 potent but very fragile tank destroyer. Let's move then to the 1.3 BR lineup, that at the moment is composed only by the AS42, an SPAA armed with a 20mm cannon that can be used against tanks, and the L40, a casemate tank destroyer that uses the same gun as the previous L3 4732 but inside an enclosed structure. To improve the lineup, we first find a medium tank in the form of the Toldi 2A prototype, a slightly different version compared to the Battle Pass reward already in game. Compared to the vehicles in game, it would get slightly less frontal armor and a different gun with very minor different penetration values. Due to it being very similar, it would go at the same BR as the Battle Pass Toldi. The final vehicle we add at this BR is a light tank, the AB43. This version uses the same hull as the AB43-4740 already in game, but a similar turret and the same gun as the AB41, giving the improved mobility of the AB43, but the same firepower as the reserve vehicle. Thanks to the new engine, improved top speed and acceleration compared to the AB41, this vehicle goes up 0.3 BR to the lineup of 1.3. This way, the 1.3 lineup will go from 1 SPAA and a tank destroyer to being composed of 1 medium tank, 1 fast light tank, then the same SPAA and tank destroyer as before. To finish up today's video, the last lineup we will look at is the one at 1.7, composed by the only medium tank, the M1340 Serie 1, the AS42 anti-air brought up from 1.3, and the Lancia Freiro, a truck armed with a potent cannon for DDR. To try and improve the lineup, we find another medium tank that could work as backup to the first one. The new vehicle is the M1340CR, where CR stands for Centro Radio. This version is modified to house radios to be used to communicate. In-game, this modification would cause a very minor decrease in top speed and acceleration due to the added weight and the reduction in overall ammo reserves for the machine gun. Due to these very minor differences, it would go at the same BR as the normal M1340 Serie 1. As fast vehicle to round off the lineup, I picked the AB41 4732, a modified version of the AB41 to house a 47mm anti-tank gun in an open-top casemate. In-game, this vehicle would have the same mobility as the AB41, but the same gun and aiming angles as the L40 tank destroyer. It would sit at 0.3 BR higher than the L40 due to its much better mobility, but it would sit 0.3 BR lower than the AS42-47 due to its far worse gun handling and massive silhouette. The 1.7 lineup would go from having one mediocre medium tank, one SPAA and a truck tank destroyer, to being composed of two mediocre medium tanks, one fast light tank, and the same SPAA and truck tank destroyer as before. I really hope that you liked this new style of videos. If you do, please leave a like, comment and subscribe.